My name is Zak. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a little island in the Caribbean near Venezuela. And I'm a maker. I make just about anything. When I was in my teens, we lived in Florida, and then I lived in England for most of my education. I started a business degree, and then I left that and I did naval architecture. When I finished that, I went to Trinidad. I did marine inspections. Then I started my own business the year after. I went into manufacturing just about anything, and we sold the business. We moved to Quebec City 3 years ago with my wife and family. Ever since I met my wife, I pretty much knew we were going to move here at some point. Right now, I'm extending my house, and I also have a few projects in the background. The other project is building a racing car, my second racing car. My eldest brother's name is Porsche. So my dad is a Porsche fanatic. And he used to take us to Florida a lot to go and watch car racing. And that really gets into your blood when you're a little 12-year-old kid and you see that car come around the corner with all that noise. I think it just, something just goes right into your brain. Building the racing car was a result of being a student and not having any money to buy one. So I had to build my own. Moving to Canada here has really changed what I do, because in Trinidad I had sometimes between 2, 3 to 10 employees, so I was more directing. But here, I'm everything. So the most interesting part of being here for me is actually physically doing the work myself. My hands are physically getting harder. Sometimes I'm there in my garage in February and I'm sanding something for 2 days and I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing, you know? But really, it's worth it at the end, you know? When you create something and then the client loves it, that's it, man, that's the best. So basically, when I was designing the extension, I was reading up a lot about passive houses. And although mine isn't exactly a passive house, I try to go with as many as I can. The more you insulate the foundation, is the less heat loss you have. We're gonna have massive windows in front here. The sun is gonna come in, it's gonna heat the concrete slab, and the concrete slab is gonna retain the heat. So at night, it'll slowly release the heat. Sun heats it up, releases it, and therefore you use less electricity. It's more eco-friendly. So I make most of my stuff on my CNC machine. And when you design and build with a CNC machine, you can design right up to the last minute. And then when you press cut, it cuts it all out. So if, for example, you're building a house, you design it before, and then months after, you start building the house, the plans are all done. When you're building something on a CNC machine, the minute before, you can change the plan, tweak it. So my process is quite detailed. I meet the client, I try and get an idea of what they want, exactly what they want, because that's the most important thing. You got to build what the client wants, not what you think, you know, you want to be in some magazine or something. When the client sees it on the computer and it's there ready to cut, when it's finished and it's in your house, it's exactly as you saw it. The CNC machine is cutting it exactly as I showed you. I know there's a lot of talk about, you know, Anglophones and living in Quebec. I got a lot of talk about that, but I don't find that at all. All my neighbors are fantastic people. They're all very friendly. Oh, I love Quebec City. I love how the weather changes throughout the year. In Trinidad, we have dry season and wet season, and the temperature is 32 all year round. I think my end goal would be to become a true Quebecois and spend a few months of winter in Florida. I chose Lac Beauport because, first of all, I wanted to have a nice big piece of land because my kids are extremely loud and I didn't want anybody complaining. That's the first thing. Especially with the building of this extension here, we had lots of extra insulation foam, and they like to make these sort of foam weapons and have these fights with them. And it's funny because they spend hours making these weapons, and one hit and they break. Then they try and they make it again. You know, I was not very ambitious at all as a kid. After university, I came out and I got a job for the first time. And then I started building my racing car. You know, I just had this image in the back of my mind of driving this car that sounded like a Formula One car with a 11,000 RPM motorcycle engine. I built it in my mom's driveway. It had a tarpaulin over it. Very, very humid, hot Caribbean place. We had some drawbacks. The avocado tree decided to die and fall down and break a component of the chassis. I had to re-weld that. I just had this image in my mind. How was I going to finish this thing? Now that I've started it, I've got to see it through. When I saw the project being completed and I drove that car, it's the first time I realized that I could really do anything. If I could spend 4 years building something in my free time after work, at night, whilst building a business, having kids, and it was on a shoestring budget, and I built this car for 4 years, little bits here, little bits here. I went to scrap yard, I picked that up. And then there I was, racing it with a sponsor. That was awesome. And do I have to build? Yeah, I do. But not all the time. Not all the time. I can relax. I think there are too many people who think, oh, I can't do that, or that's gonna be too expensive, or look at that guy, he has a race car, he must be rich, he built that, It's not about that. It's about just having the desire to do it and being creative to find a way to get it done. And that's really what I've been doing my whole life.